the reverse rocket mount. This is probably one of the most beautiful tricks that you can do on a highline, and some people have asked me if I could do a tutorial, so here we go. I start really easy with a pre-exercise that you start from lying on your hip, dropping to the front and going back to your hip. But first, before we do that, we need to think about our hand positioning. I would not grab the line with both hands pointed to the same side, but like one hand like that and the other like that, so that you're grabbing the line, squeezing it a bit more. And the leash, you have it between your hands, and then you go here, get some momentum, and in the highest point you drop to the front. And now we go. And you go back to lying on your hip. And probably you've seen my legs moving back and forth. This is really important because this is what gets you the right momentum to, in the end, move up again to the top. So I drop my legs over, I get them to that side, and in the lowest point I have them totally on the front to then kick back and then kick up over the line again. I show you one more time, hip to hip. I do it with a bit more bounce because this will help you to make it easier to also understand more about the timing. So now on the highest point I will go, drop to the front, back. So this would be the first step, and really go big with your legs. That's super important. If you just go very small, you will not really feel the timing of it all. Once you manage that well and you easily go back to your feet, then you should start from feet. Of course, for that you should have a stable exposure position. And here the drop down is very important. So you bounce, and in the highest point of the bounce, you grab the line and you just drop yourself down. No active movement, you just let the gravity work for you. So you bounce, you bounce, you bounce, and in the highest point, and you go back to hip position. If the bounce is huge, then you might have troubles holding the line. In the lowest point, the fingers could be torn open. So this is like really not nice for your fingers. So start with a small bounce. If you feel like, I can easily hold that, go for a bigger bounce. And also really important for that is your shoulder strength. Make sure that your shoulders are strong enough to hold it. Maybe train them before you try the reverse rocket mount. And very importantly, warm them up before you go for the reverse rocket mount. Start small, go bigger after a while. Okay, now we got it back to our hip position, and the next step, in the end we want to land it to feet, of course. The next step would be to try to push the line a little away from you at the end, because if you pull it towards your hip, then you're blocked. The line will stay there, you cannot move on. So you want to actually, once you're down, you want to pull it so that there is a right angle in your elbow, and from there on you want to push it again into handstand. But let's do a pre-exercise before going to feet. So I start exactly the same. You can also start from the hip position to go for what I show you now. Again, you get some bounce, and in the highest point, like a Yoda roll almost, you go for it. And then, have you seen what I've done with my arms? I first pull it to the right angle, and then I pushed it away a little. Only for a short moment, because in the end it's almost not possible to hold it in a handstand position. But that's what you need to guide the line away again from you, because that gives you the space to then pull it under your feet. One more time, this one, and then it's time to go to feet. And for this also the type of line is important. Here I'm standing on a 57-meter long LSD tube from Selectivity, and the ideal length is normally between like 60 and 80 meters. If the line is a little longer, then it's softer on your shoulder, on your hands, on your body overall. If it's shorter, it's more intense. It's in the end easier to get it to feet, but the forces are higher. So at the beginning, if you're not sure like how much your body can bear, go a little bit longer with the line, and later on when you want to stick it to feet, it's totally fine to go for like a 55-meter long slack line. 80 meters is also fine. Everything works around that. Okay, one more time. In the highest point of the bounce, I drop down and then I push a little bit to handstand. And you see, like if you push too much to handstand, like how the forces can go big on your shoulders. So at the beginning, push a little bit until you have some control, because this is just a certain danger that can happen. So, well, part of the risk of highlining. And if you feel like that the forces are getting too big, better let go before you injure your shoulders. Okay. And then it's a lot of commitment to really get it to feet, but of course that's the goal in the end. Again, leash is in the middle of both feet when you start. And you see, once you're back to feet, leash falls can be really nice. But of course my goal now is to stick it, because I don't want to show you how to fail, but I want to show you how to stick that trick in the end. Here we go. Yeah. If you like that trick, and if you like that video, and if you like what we do with Selectivity, then don't forget to press the like button here, because we have tons of ideas in our head, but only if there is a big enough audience, only then we will continue to make these tutorials and to make Highline freestyling grow. Okay, thanks for watching and see you soon.